Hello and welcome to Where No Way, and these are the top 10 movies that I've seen in 2016. But first, some honorable mentions. Number 10. Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo and the Two Strings is a beautifully animated tale of mystery, courage, and family. The voice acting is superb, the plot feels fresh and original with its roots in Japanese mythology with a heavy focus on music, and the use of storytelling as both a way for Kubo to keep his mother's mind intact as well as deal with the main villain is an interesting and refreshing way to deal with conflict. Number 9. The Legend of Tarzan. While I'd never call this movie perfect, Alexander Skarsgård provides a deep, rich take on the mythical Lord of the Apes and a solid, funny, and action-packed adventure. While some might scoff and dismiss this as a problematic movie due to Great White Hope Syndrome, the people depicted in this movie are far from racial stereotypes, are highly capable, and actually provide aid and assistance to Tarzan and Samuel L. Jackson, playing Samuel L. Jackson. Christoph Waltz continues to entertain as a villain, much better here than in Green Hornet or Water for Elephants, and Margot Robbie is a smart and sassy Jane, and much more enjoyable here than in Suicide Squad. Overall, The Legend of Tarzan is a pleasant viewing experience for a fan of classic heroes like myself. Number 8. Shin Godzilla. Perhaps one of the strangest monster movies I've seen in years, this film takes a different approach to the standard kaiju fare, focusing on the political and bureaucratic side of the disaster as opposed to the militaristic side of Japan's defense forces. The mutations and versions of Godzilla on display here are unlike any I'd seen before, and took me by surprise almost constantly whenever he appeared. While as many Godzilla movies, the human characters are not the most interesting, they kept me engaged long enough to want them to succeed in their mission. It all leads to a strange finale that has to be seen to be believed. But what else do you expect from the people who brought us Neon Genesis Evangelion? Number 7. Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond is a wild, exciting thrill ride that includes a kick-ass finale involving sabotage by the Beastie Boys. The chemistry the Enterprise ensemble has developed over the years shows evidently on screen in their interactions. Chris Pine has fully settled into his role as Kirk, and we finally get some damn good Spock-McCoy banter from Zachary Quinto and Carl Urban respectively. Throw in Idris Elba as predictable but menacing villain, and you have the makings of an enjoyably fun movie night. Number 6. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Rogue One features a relatively unknown cast both in and out of story to show us how the Death Star plans got to the rebellion and into Leia's hands in A New Hope. It felt more like a war movie than a space fantasy, which was a very welcome change. It shows that the universe is more than just Days of Our Lightsabers featuring the Skywalkers. The Empire's tyranny reaches far and wide and doesn't care who it crushes. The rebels are not all saints either, employing spies, assassins, scoundrels, and killers. Though Diego Luna's Cassian and Felicity Jones's Jyn Erso were very light in characterization, there was enough there for me to be invested and care when the film ended. Breakout supporting characters such as Donnie Yen's Chirrut and Alan Tudyk's K2SO provided some great comic relief and character quirks to keep me entertained. Also, that fucking Darth Vader scene at the end! It's a terrific holdover for Episode 8, and a more than deserving entry in the Star Wars franchise. Number 5. Doctor Strange. If it wasn't apparent with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, Marvel has proven very adept at taking their characters and translating them into big-screen blockbusters. Doctor Strange gives us what we admittedly have seen before as a premise, but with a couple of surprisingly witty and charming side characters and an absolutely game Benedict Cumberbatch, this movie more than made up for it. Though I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the main draw and reason to see Doctor Strange is the visual effects. If this movie doesn't get nominated for Best Visual Effects, then it will be a crying damn shame. Number 4. Captain America Civil War. Marvel Studios continues to knock it out of the park with very few misfires. Continuing from both Age of Ultron and Captain America Winter Soldier, Civil War gives us the breaking of the bonds, the fall of the Avengers, the debut of Spider-Man in the MCU. All that aside, it's a story that takes the question of how much oversight should superheroes have and puts it under a microscope. How far is too far? Are superheroes doing just as much harm as good? Are they doing good when dust-ups between titans can cause innocent civilians to die as well as collateral damage in the millions? While the philosophical argument does take something of a backseat near the end, it's always there under the surface with the main villain Zemo and his motivations. We also get the single best superhero fight scene in history, and it is glorious. It's fun, thoughtful, and a little bit heartbreaking in certain scenes, but overall, Captain America Civil War is not to be missed. Number 3. Deadpool. Deadpool is my favorite superhero movie of 2016, just edging out Captain America Civil War by the fraction of a hair. While that movie was an excellent action-packed discussion on morals and responsibility, Deadpool is a straight-up anti-hero laugh fest from beginning to end, which isn't to say its action isn't amazing. It's intense, well shot, and showcases great choreography for moments both humorous and serious. Ryan Reynolds becomes Deadpool so fully, it's tough to know where one starts and the other stops, and in my opinion, the film's better for it. It's a good-natured, foul-mouthed piss take on superheroes, as well as concrete evidence that superheroes as a genre have more to offer than just the usual tights-and-flights beat-em-ups. Number 2. The Handmaiden. Imagine Park Chan-wook directing Wild Things, but actually making it a sexy, erotic, dramatic thriller romance, instead of a boring, tepid, lukewarm guessing game. The story weaves an intricate and thoroughly entertaining tale of a young thief sent to a young reclusive heiress's house to be her handmaiden, with a scoundrel partner looking to play a possible suitor, all the while the heiress's uncle has more than a few secrets of his own. Watching this movie unfold was like actually seeing someone unfold a story that was written inside an origami puzzle. The cinematography is fantastic, the humor, when there is any, is top-notch, and there is something of a commentary of how women are objectified and their sexuality commodified by men. But that's a lot to unpack, and this list is long enough already. Number 1. Arrival. This movie blew my mind. Denis Villeneuve's intelligent, mind-bending take on the typical alien invasion plotline turns into a story about how important communication is, with both its showing of how Amy Adams' linguistics professor struggles to understand the newcomer's language, and with the news broadcasts spreading conflicting reports, breeding confusion all over the world. Admittedly, a slow burn in the beginning, when the revelations come and all is made clear, it all fits together neatly with a bittersweet but uplifting message of life, hope, and what can unite us all as a species if we'd only listen. And that's the top 10 movies of 2016 that I saw. I want to thank you all for watching, wish you a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and just want to let you guys know I am working on other projects. I am working on other reviews right now. In fact, that's Audacity. This is my new review. I'm going to be reviewing Dragon's Lair, the comic book. Yes, there was a comic book made on Dragon's Lair. So, let it adjust itself for a second here. But yes, I am working on new projects. There are scripts being made, and I'm looking forward to making more projects in the future. So, Happy New Year, everybody. See y'all later.